Gamer lifestyle, so games is what I'm playing. Game on that 6-4, so you know I stay gaming. Game hop on live, then you know I start raping. Game wake up in the morning, turn on the PlayStation. Game playing till my game start breaking. Game I'm a damn nerd, so boy stop hating. Game I'm still gaming. Game she's still gaming. Game y'all still gaming, so games is what I'm playing. Don't test me, yeah, you know I'm going pro. You say you play football, I play Halo. I'm gaming all night, and you know I'm about to play. I bought a new game, so I'm skipping class today.
Hey everybody, what's going on? ClassicGamePhreak here with my second request video. Yesterday I did a video on the Sega Genesis and all the games that I do have, and shared some tiny memories involving some of those titles. So today it's all about the Super Nintendo, but since I only have a few select choices, I also have Game Boy Advance games to kind of throw in there a little bit to kind of add up a little bit more. Getting right to the point, none of these games are boxed. None of these Super Nintendo games are boxed, unfortunately. So I'm still looking for some boxed copies of something, just to make my collection look a little better. Oh well. Anyway, on to it. I'm just going to kind of go down the list here. I'm just going to kind of pick them from least to best, really. First one, Clue. This game, my buddy had rented way back in like 93, 94, and me and his entire family played this game, made up the little spreadsheets to see who did it. And we had just such a blast with that. I remember that. We had so many of those sheets filled out because we played that non-stop. A lot of these games actually pertain to me and my best friend back in the day. A lot of the games we played together, you know, it was a good time for me. Good memories. So, let's see here. Next one is Cybernator. And this game, I mean, it didn't really pertain to that or anything like that. This game was pretty neat. It's by Konami. You're piloting a big old hulking robot, and you just go basically from level to level. You know, you got the shield in front of you, and you got, you know, machine guns or different power-ups. It was a very good game. Very difficult, actually. I remember running that 2 or 3 times back in like 94, and that was like my favorite year of all time. The summer of 94, I had a broken wrist, but I built a go-kart and was playing these games at that time, so they really stand out for me. I should have actually mentioned this game first, but Lawnmower Man. This game was like $1.50 on eBay one night. Saw it, and I was like, $150, free shipping and handling? I'll buy it. The game's bad though. It's really not a good game. It just doesn't make sense, and the virtual reality levels are just kind of stupid. So, yeah. This game, I actually liked. This was the first game I got on Super Nintendo, this Super Nintendo, and I enjoyed the series. I actually have Part 4 on the PlayStation 1. Oh, here comes my sinuses again like yesterday. But anyway, Wing Commander. This game was so fun on the Super Nintendo. On the PC too. I remember getting like a colored monitor for the first time and playing Wing Commander. Playing the hell out of this game. Next up, everybody knows this beat 'em up, but Final Fight, and it's got still a sticker on there, Marks. Yeah, Marks. Not much to say about it. Brawler. This one didn't have. I don't think it had Guy, if I'm correct. I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I played it. Yes, I have played this copy, but it was either Guy or Cody that was missing. Unlike the arcade where you could pick all 3. Next one was Final Fight 2. This was from a trade just recently. I still have yet to actually pop it into my Super Nintendo, unfortunately, but I liked Final Fight 2. So I had rented it once back in the day, and now I'm glad to actually own it. So anyway, next one, Star Fox. Once again, around about 94, and this game we played the hell out of it. Still fun to this day, still a little challenging. I still actually like the graphics in it. You know, I don't care if we're, you know, modern graphics or photorealistic and the 60 frames per second. That was still fun. Next one, yeah, everybody's played this. Super Mario World? Yeah. Hard. It was a difficult game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've beat it many times. But back in the day, this game was frustrating. This was the epitome of rage quit right here. Just can't get through that certain level. Frustrating. Next one. This one's becoming a little bit more rare to get your hands on. But this was also in another trade. Demon's Crest. You play as, I believe, the dragon's name is Firebrand, and you go around. I believe you were collecting these gems. I can't remember, but great Capcom game. Like I said, very hard to come by these days. And this actually says $4.50, which is kind of funny. I don't think it's worth that anymore. I think it's worth much more, but I don't know. I'd have to look at the prices. Next one. Donkey Kong Country. Another one of those very frustrating platformers, especially when you get into the barrels, shooting you everywhere. Oh man, it got so frustrating. I don't think I ever beat this one, unfortunately. Once again, another one of those games shared with my friend. Now these three were the big three that my buddy and I shared, and his sister played a lot of, and just those couple of years were just fantastic to me. So, first off, one game we constantly challenged each other at in the battle mode, and we just played so much of. I swear we probably broke about 2 controllers just from overuse, not throwing. But Super Mario Kart. Yeah, this game it got hard even on the computer. Once you got up there in the higher levels, this game was hard. It was relentless. This one, a lot of people will look at and kind of scoff at. Me personally, it holds good memories, so I actually enjoy it. But it's Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. It's gotten a bad rap because, I mean, you know, it shows the monsters on the screen, and leveling up was you could go to little battlegrounds and fight 10 different rounds and level your characters up like that. Music was a little repetitive, but it still stands out in my head. This was such a fun game to me. A lot of people don't like it. I don't know why. And then this one, Defined 93, 94 for me. I wrote it so many times. I played it so many times, played through it multiple times. I remember staying the night at my friends, waking up next morning when we were playing this. Zelda. Yeah. You know, this is the game. This is the essential game in any Super Nintendo collection. I don't care if you've got, you know, Super Mario World or Contra or just anything like that. This is essential. This is a must for any Super Nintendo owner. So, anyway, I'm going to get right on to the Game Boy Advance games. There's only a few titles here, and I thought I'd share it because, like I said, you know, somebody's going to request it, I swear. Hey, what Game Boy Advance games do you have? Well, let me tell you. Alright, let me look here. Alright, first off, Super Street Fighter 2. This was just a take to work and play while I was on the phone with Sprint customers because I worked at a Sprint call center. I'm a big Street Fighter fan, so that was a must. This one was kind of dumb on the Game Boy. The arcade was great, but Silent Scope, yeah, if you don't have a sniper rifle with the little fake screen in the scope, nah. I mean, I played it. It was okay, but yeah. Dragon Ball Z, The Legacy of Goku 2. Interesting game. It follows true to the Dragon Ball Z show. It was okay. It's hard. Very hard, actually. I need to start over on that and play it again. But anyway, I'm going to try to go through these fast. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. This game is addicting on the Game Boy Advance. Trying to get the word skate and trying to do that. This game is in a lot of top 10 lists online. I checked. It's a very fun game. I could play it for a couple of hours without realizing a couple hours has passed. So, This was from a trade from Head Above Water 3, but Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. I had this game back in the day. I wanted it again, and to increase my Game Boy Advance collection, I'm glad I did, because I've been playing it. You know, not bad. On my DS. Hopefully I've got a trade going where I'll get an actual Game Boy Advance SP here soon, and be able to play these on an SP again. That'd be excellent. One I actually have yet to pop into my DS, my original DS, but this was in a trade along with Demon's Crest and Final Fight 2 and Super Mario Kart. Final Fantasy IV Advance. Yeah, I'm glad I have that. Good Final Fantasy game on the Game Boy. A lot of people's going to know this one, Advance Wars. That's such a great tactical game. I need to go back and play that again. I need to get it on the DS, I think. It was a really good series. And these are all kind of winners right here. First off, Lunar Legend. I almost traded this one away, and I don't know why. I guess I just got caught up in the whole trade thing, but I think these are getting harder to find. Even without a box, even loose. This one, same case. I almost traded it off. I don't know what I was thinking, but Sword of Mana. Yeah, once again, I don't know what I was thinking. I bought that thing for $24.99 back in the day from the evil GameStop. These two, hugely two of my favorite Game Boy Advance games. I think I'm going to pick this one to show first because I didn't actually beat it, but I need to. Castlevania, Circle of the Moon. It played like Metroid, obviously, like all the Castlevanias do these days. You got the map, you know where to go, you can go in different places. To get further, you've got to get that power up to unlock this area, so on and so forth. And speaking of Metroid Fusion. This game had a storyline to it. Samus actually spoke. She had a computer named Adam that she talked to that reminded her of her old commanding officer. And it ain't like other M. This game was actually pretty cool. It's just really hard to explain. If you've never played it, I mean, even get it on an emulator if you have to and try it out. If you're a Metroid fan, this was excellent. Also, this game paired up with Metroid Prime if you had the GameCube add-on for Game Boy Advance games, and you could download stuff from this game and put it on Metroid Prime. Anyway, on to my boxed Game Boy Advance games. First off, got Max Payne. I had this pre-ordered when I was working for Sprint. I remember it hitting my lunch break. I remember going, well, I ain't gonna eat today. I'm going right over to GameStop and I'm picking this up. I'm a big Max Payne fan, at least until 3 came out. 3 to me is just kind of bad. But this was the first one, and I mean, it was kind of an isometric view, but you could still do the bullet time. It was still fantastic, so I'm real glad I have that. The box has seen some better days, but I've moved several times since I bought that, so yeah. Next one, this was my very first Game Boy Advance game. Speaking of Sprint, when I went and worked there, when I was going through the training and got my first paycheck, the first thing I did was went and bought a black Game Boy Advance SP, and I bought this game. And that was Phantasy Star Collection. And it was basically Phantasy Star 1, 2, and 3. I loved Phantasy Star 3 back in the day, back whenever I had it on Sega Genesis. And so to get that, very deep. I haven't beaten any of the 3 on this cartridge, but I need to. Now this is a mix-up. This is a tie here because these two games are just both fantastic. I'm going to go with this one because it's less unique. But this game I'm big time after this one on the Sega Genesis, and hopefully box this and its sequel boxed. But they brought it out on the Game Boy Advance. I had it pre-ordered. I knew it was coming out. I had to have it. Shining Force, Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. Man, they added a few features to this, a new storyline, and a lot of the graphics were new. And they added kind of a card system, which was, I don't remember what that was about, but you could collect cards in it and use them for power-ups. It was pretty neat, but yeah, that. And then this is my most unique Game Boy Advance game, okay? This was by Hideo Kojima, the creator of the Metal Gear Solid series, or the Metal Gear series in general. And he once again raised the bar on the Game Boy Advance. And this was like, and I'll tell you why this was unique, but it's Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hands. Okay. You played as a character named Django, and he had a sun gun. You fought monsters using sun. Now, I know that sounds a little funny, but let me explain this here. Okay, let me pull the cartridge out. Let me show you this. Hey. Now, that cartridge looks a little funny, right? Kind of clear, a little bit thicker at the top. When I say you had to fight monsters with the sun, you literally had to fight monsters with the sun. You see that black square? That's a solar panel. You actually had to take this thing out into the sun during the day, and you had to fight the monsters. You could recharge your gun using the sun. When the game detected sunlight, you'd have beams of light coming through the ceiling in any given dungeon. You could store sunlight, and you could use it to your advantage even at night. But if you got to the boss, you had to drag the coffin, the boss's coffin, back to what was called the pile driver, which was this big symbol on the ground. And then you had to fight him there. But you had to actually be out in the sun in order to fight the thing. So, a very unique game, a very kind of challenging game, because not only is it action, but there's a lot of puzzles in the game too. It kind of reminds me of Zelda with some of the puzzles. So, definitely kind of an odd game, and but it's one I'm real glad I have in my collection. So, there you have it. There's my Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance collection. I'm glad I got through it, and it's going to be just slightly shorter than my Sega Genesis video. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I've got hopefully three unboxes coming next week, so stay tuned for those. And I hope to see y'all's comments then. I'll talk to you then. Cheers.